Hi again guys, and welcome to another Porsche based speed build on Forza Horizon 3, and this time we've got another vehicle which you can win from the Forza-thon events for the Porsche Cayenne Turbo for this time in particular. And we don't often do SUV or truck based builds on the channel, but on this occasion, of course, we are. And some of the SUVs can be deceptively quick, and this is definitely one of those. The top-end performance on this car is very strong, or at least according to the benchmark it is. Of course, we'll take it out on the street to see what it can actually do. But for now, as far as upgrades go, as you can see, I would recommend that 1500 horsepower V12 conversion. For the drivetrain, pretty obviously, I would recommend keeping all-wheel drive. You don't have to, but I would recommend it. As far as aspiration, of course you want that twin turbo, and for the rest, you know the drill. Upgrade the power, lower the weight as much as you reasonably can, and basically fit everything that has race in the title, with the exception of stuff like the front and rear wing, because you just don't need that for top-end performance. Now that's it for the upgrades. What though about the tuning? Well, incidentally, of course, you can find this on my storefront, as you can with the majority of my tunes, so if you want to just fit it straight on the car, you can use the keywords in this video's description to just go straight to that. If though you want to do it yourself, then you're going to be having good results. As you can see from the benchmark, it is a seriously quick SUV. 2.4 to 60, 4.2 to 100, and 262 flat out. That's pretty impressive performance. It's not quite the quickest of SUVs, but it's definitely up there with the best of them. Now for the gearbox, you've got a lot of gears to be working with, but you don't necessarily need to use all of them. Now I'd recommend a final drive of 3.3, then individual gears of 5, 2.9, 2, 1.51, 1.21, 1, 0.82 and 0.70. Then as far as alignment, I've got neutral, camber and tow, as I often would. 4 degrees of caster. You could go a bit lower for the sake of manoeuvrability if you want to, or of course vice versa, go higher if you want it to be a bit stiffer. As far as anti-roll, we've got those on 34 and 39, springs on 206 and 235. I've opted for the highest ride height. You don't necessarily have to do that, but I just like the way that looks basically on trucks. You can improve cornering ability by lowering it, but again, you don't necessarily have to. Dampers we've got on 14 and 6. Aero of course doesn't apply, and for the diff I've opted for 100% on acceleration, 0% on decel, as I usually would, and for this particular SUV, a 70% split in favour of the back end. So you've still got that 30% going to the front, which of course helps off the line, helps immeasurably off-road, and just allows you to benefit basically from having that all-wheel drive setup. So that's it for the tune, with plenty of variables in there, as always, but now let's, as we always do, take it out on the street to see if it can actually hit 262 miles per hour. Now, as far as its actual performance goes, this car does struggle a little bit more to reach that 262 miles per hour. It's theoretically possible if you have an open straight, a downhill section and a bit of draft, but the reality is you're looking at more like the low to mid 250 region, which isn't bad, and it wasn't the quickest of SUVs on the benchmark anyway, so it's not like you're losing a massive amount of potential, but it does get up into 8th, the revs drop, and you have some draft potential there. You can get it higher with slipstream, as I said, but if you want to use more of the range of gears, then of course you could increase that final drive up to say 3.4, 3.5, maybe even higher, and get more, basically more out of those gears. You don't need to drop the revs as much as I have, so of course, mess around with the gears, find out what works better for you, or just go with what I've gone with to get longer gearing, especially at lower revs. So it depends how you want to go with the gears. Either way, it's not the strongest of top-end performance SUVs, but it's not bad. It's certainly got enough performance for most situations involving off-roaders. And overall, if you do decide to use this build, I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Certainly try to make it even quicker than this one. It's definitely got that potential there, acceleration especially. And that's it for this build, so I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.